You always want to make sure that you're keeping clean because you're going to need to be clean. I promise you, man, we're in a wicked society with a wicked government. You're going to need to be clean out here. Keep your nose clean, man.
Again, when we talk about the American standard, in most countries, you can't drink water out of the tap, even in developed countries. That used to be an American standard. Now in America, you can't drink water out of the tap. It's quite disappointing. And that's precisely why increasingly you have to build for yourself. The governments are less and less reliable.
And you too stupid to question it. You too stupid to question it. Going along with this nonsense. Now, most of you watching, some of you might be lazy and you might be inconsistent. So don't take this advice because you ain't even figured out how to work hard yet. But once you figured out how to work hard, what you want to do is work hard on different activities and figure out which of these pursuits is going to make money for you. And then you go hyper focused, Super Saiyan mode on that one thing that is easy for you to make money at. Easy for you to make money. For example, if there was a public speaking contest and they're giving out $20,000 for the best public speaker, I say, oh, that's easy for me. I could walk up and, pretty much do that with minimal preparation. So what I'm telling you to do is to do what is easy for you, that you are skilled and competent at, that takes low levels of energy. And also, if you have multiple income streams, which I do, I hope you do, it's a beautiful thing. But every now and then I'll shut off one income stream. If it's not streaming fast enough, it's not streaming vigorously enough, I'll shut it off and focus my energy, effort, capital, and attention to my other streams. You see, it's much better to have one strong income stream or two strong income streams than five that are all right. Because what happens when you split your attention between different businesses and pursuits, you forget that it takes a lot to be in different industries. What I mean is, say, like, for example, when I was in tech, I had an intellectual property attorney, right? He can deal with, certain complex algorithms that we need to patent and all this stuff. But if I want to say, hey, I also have a fashion business, can you help me with that? No, he can't. So it would be much better for me and that relationship if I had like 3 different tech businesses, I could use the same lawyer. But if I have businesses in different industries, I might need different types of lawyers for different things. Like, for example, I was in another business that required significant levels of compliance. And so I needed a different kind of team to deal with that. So you often want to ask yourself, how can I be in one industry, maybe in different like slithers of the industry, to where, if one business tanks, they're not all going to tank at the same time. But you have to think strategically about how to do this stuff. Come on now. So you guys are often wanting to get into entrepreneurship, and I fully support that. In fact, I promote it. It's not for everyone, but for those of you who can actually get it done, you absolutely should. It is life-changing. Not only in terms of wealth, but also in terms of something much greater than wealth. Freedom. Yes, if you don't have time, you are not wealthy. I once was a person who owned a company and still didn't have time. I had lots of money. I didn't even have time to spend the money. And I even have friends to this day who run large international corporations with tons of employees, and they don't have time or freedom. So that is not what you're looking for. You must design a life. And that's why I give you this guidance, because you can do things the hard way or the easy way. And your goal is to find a way to have an unfair advantage, or to find something that is easy for you and perhaps hard for others. One thing I want to give you guidance on when you're asking yourself, well, what product can I bring to market? Or even what service can I bring to market? Now, when you're trying to earn $1, there may be ways that are more accessible, easier for you to start with, and then you'll graduate to products that are perhaps more complex or more profitable. When you first start, what I like to do is I like to look at my everyday experience and ask, where is there a breakdown in the quality of the experience where I'm disappointed, or I get angry at something, or I wish something existed, or I can make some minor modifications in something that's going to improve the experience for the consumer, or let the consumer save money or earn money or get a feeling that they're searching for. So for example, we mentioned real estate because real estate is something I haven't talked a ton about publicly. For those of you who are wise, you'll get the guide to investing in commercial real estate, which you can get at the SASN.com. THESASN.com. Mark Pfeiffer, my good friend, real estate mogul, very successful in that business, also e-commerce. You can get that lesson and go through and learn about investing in real estate. And if you have a particular deal or want to look at deals, you can book a very low cost consultation with Mark. I think it's $350, which I think is shamefully cheap. If I were you, I'd probably be booking one a week, honestly, and exploit him because he's willing to be exploited. My consultation is much more expensive, and I'm going to increase it by $300 on the first of the month. So do make sure that if you're smart and thrifty, which I'm certainly a thrifty person, you would book before the first. You can do so at thesasn.com. That's THESASN.com. But yeah, if you guys are listening right now, you're like, what was I supposed to learn from this, Marquett? Like, what was the one thing I need to take home? This is what you need to take home, okay? What you need to take home is this. If you have $1,000 and you can invest that $1,000 in making yourself more valuable, that's a great way to invest $1,000. If you can invest $1,000 in a product-based business, not all at once, bit by bit, that might be a smart thing to do. Holding on to the money, obsessing over the money, being miserly or parsimonious is not wise because it's all fake at the end of the day anyways. It's all fake. So what I'm saying is that the only certain value you get out of money, like, so say if I have like $100,000 in my hand right now, right? Which, yeah, I would need two hands. It's 50,000, it's 50,000. So I got 50,000 here and 50,000 here, right? So if I got $100,000 in my hand right now, it really has added no value and no joy to my life. I might be dumb enough to be like, look, I got 50,000 here, 50,000 here. It's not added any value. But the moment I convert that money into something that I can utilize, whether it's a house, an automobile, a course I might take to better myself, or going on a bunch of dates, or even paying for 800 prostitutes, whatever the case might be, then I've converted into something that's actually valuable. But if I get stuck holding these 50,000 pieces of green paper and this 50,000 pieces of green paper, I lost, right? I'm dumb. So what you need to understand is the persons who are actually utilizing capital in the economy, utilizing it, making it active, they're the winners. The people who are hoarding money or trying to gain money, they're not actually understanding the great value that we have at our disposal. This is what I mean. I feel like, I just like to be visual. I feel like this little bit of money right here, right? So if I take this money right here, right? And I use this money to get someone to do something for me, they might feel great, right? If I was like, hey, here, take this money, do blah, 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 whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, they're going to feel good because they got a piece of paper, right? They're like, oh, I got some money. They feel great. I feel like, ha, you're stupid. I tricked you and I beat you and I won. Because this is actually just a piece of paper that means nothing. But what you did for me means something. The labor I extracted from you, the service I extracted from you means something in the world. Whereas if I leave you holding this, you're holding something that has no value. So the more you can convert this into something, then you win. But the problem is that you get a whole bunch of these, or you get obsessed with pursuing these, and you waste your life. You live your life in fear trying to get this, which is valueless. So what I'm trying to teach you is understanding if you get this and this, don't obsess over holding on to it, because if you try to hold on to it, you're going to lose. Put this to work so you could turn it into this. And then when you turn it into this, put this to work so you could turn it into a house or a campus or a private army or something to protect you or help you or make you happier. Because I promise you, having a bunch of pieces of paper with pictures on it is not going to make you happier. So that's why anytime I'm able to use this to control someone, I'm like, dang, this person's stupid. Listen, I can enslave you guys with this. I can enslave you with this. Like, I'm a slave master out here. That's what I'm trying to teach you. I'm your slave master with this. That's the beauty of it. But see, here's the thing. I don't actually want this. I want to control you, and I want your labor. I want you to come work for me. I want you to do what I asked you to do. When you can figure that out, then you'll be in a strong position. Yeah. You'll be in a really strong position when you can figure that out. Like, for example, I'm hungry, right? I'm about to have someone go, like someone who works for these, go fetch my food and bring it straight to my door. And then I'm going to hand them something like this. And in my head, I'm going to laugh like, you're stupid. Thanks. Thank you, dummy. Appreciate it, man. I can just sit on my ass while you do all the labor. And you're going to keep on chasing and chasing and chasing this. Failing to understand it. You're playing in the game with no game plan. If you're chasing this, you're playing in the game without a game plan. But you're like a badass athlete. You know, you're like a shitty athlete that won't listen to the coach. You feel me? Like the coach is trying to tell you something, but you won't listen. You heard me? It's like, if I take out the time to make a course, I don't care if I'm sitting in my motherfucking drawers. Hell, I don't care if I'm butt ass naked teaching the course. Take the course, take the knowledge. Who cares that I'm butt ass naked in the course? Take the knowledge and then go do what I've done. Right? Like, keep your eyes on the actual prize. I know you've already lost when you're talking about earning money. You haven't even in your mind converted it to what you want. Right? Like when I was a young person, I say something like, I want to make $1 million. Now I'm like, but why? But why though? You want 1 million pieces of paper? Now I think in terms of tangible things, like what can I do with that? How does that impact my quality of life? How can that protect me more, protect my family? Mind you, money is not going to protect you. You have to convert it to something that will protect you, like a firearm, a private army, security at your home, a bodyguard, things like this. So people get caught up in the rat race, which is what a capitalist like me, I want you in the rat race because I want to be your banker. I want you to borrow money from me. I want you to come work for me. I want you to be in debt. I want you to get up at 7 a.m. every day because you feel obligated. You feel me? Like I want you in debt. So you're obligated. The system, the credit system is genius because it forces you to wake up early and go to work and do a job you hate every single day. You think people hated slavery? For sure. And people hate their jobs just as much, minus the you ain't got to deal with them lashes, right? But I need you in debt so you feel obligated to participate. Like no one is going to go to a restaurant and fetch my dinner and bring it back to me without them greenbacks, right? Like they need that motivation to do that. Like if I asked them nicely, they wouldn't do it. So that's how much a capitalist appreciates this system, but it's all psychological. And let me just tell you real quick how deeply perverse the system is. Deeply perverse. Is even people who are multimillionaires many times over, we're talking about 40 million, hundreds of millions, they still don't feel abundance. That is a choice as well. I even see people in the chat sometimes and they say, oh, when I get my bag up, I'm going to support the work. I don't believe you. I think you're a liar. And that's not an insult. That's just an observation of fact. The reason that I know you to be a liar is because there are people who send a Venmo every session and they literally send it for $1 US every time. When I read Venmos, I never say the amount. If it's a baller alert, I'll say a baller alert, which indicates $50 or more, but I never say the amount. There's most people who send it in. They might be sending it in for a lower amount. There are other people who always send high amounts. Definitely they're there. Some people, they just send $1. And so what that lets me know is the person who's saying, once I get my bag up, then I'm going to support. No, you're never going to support. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to me, but I know you're lying. You might not know you're lying to yourself. You really have to understand this. And there was a great speaker whom I used to listen to quite a bit. And he said, if you can manage your behaviors when the amounts are small, which is to say when your income is small or when your business is small, if you can manage the numbers very well, then you will be able to manage the numbers effectively when the amounts are large, which is to say, if you only got to say your whole fortune is $50 and you're managing it effectively and you're allocating to each thing in your life that needs to be allocated to yourself, to your family, to your expenses, your bills, your business, to your charity, to orphans. Maybe you can only give 50 cents to an orphan. Maybe you can only give $2 to your family, but you've made an allocation. So then when you're a multimillionaire, you're still willing to give that percentage, but it'll be a much larger amount. What happens is when people say like, oh, well, when I get my money together, then I'm going to support, that lets me know you're a stingy person, which is fine. When you do get your money together, then you're going to find a new reason not to support. So understand the amount of money you have doesn't matter. It's not about, I hope you guys understand some things you might never understand until you get there. Like I remember I used to have this super gorgeous a couple, actually, gorgeous girlfriend in high school, but there was one in particular. And the homie had asked me, he was like, bro, like, how do you have that girl and you still dealing with these other girls? I tried to explain to him, but he could never understand because he was obsessed with that girl because she was so gorgeous, but he had never had a gorgeous girlfriend. You heard me? He says, like, once you get one, then you can understand that even a gorgeous woman will get boring if the only thing about her that's meaningful is her beauty. You can explain it, but he just never going to understand it till he has one, and he never got one. Anyways, carrying on. Time is precious. We're in a race. We have to move quickly. You do not want to persist in the same thing too long. If you ask me, Marquett, with what you know now, and you could go back in time, what would you tell your younger self when you were 25? I'll say, Marquett, you are building a tech company. Fantastic. You put in a lot of work. I want to make a prophecy. This is going to work. This is going to make you millions of dollars. This is going to make you successful and well known. It's going to let you travel around the world. It's going to let you live in different countries. And despite that, I want you to quit right now immediately. I want you to quit right now immediately. And the reason I want you to quit right now immediately, because it's not worth the effort. It's too much work. There are simpler technologies that can make you money faster. And I want you to quit this today like it's a burning building. Leave it and try a different technology. That's what I would say, because it hurts too much to do what you're doing. It's too much effort. It's too heavy of a lift, and you're strong enough to lift it. But why put the muscle in? Why put the muscle when you could use a little bit of hustle and get a better outcome, huh? Yes, indeed. That's what I would say. I talk to you because I have something to teach. Many come here to teach, but how many of them are actually teachers? My actual training, I was professionally trained as a teacher, and I've taught at the elementary level, the middle school level, the high school level, and the university level, and the graduate school level in a paid capacity. It's different. Come on now. They're here to make $1. I'm here to make a difference. Understand. And not all of you will. I speak to the leadership class. I don't speak to the dimwits. They'll never get it.
We must take the liberty of sitting at the front of the classroom. Above all, the plan is for financial freedom, true ownership. So I invite you to work with me in executing this plan so that the dream is not just a dream.
Everything's going to work out. Don't stress. Don't feel like you're struggling. And number 2, to enjoy the whole way through. Enjoy every moment of it. You won't always have your hair. You won't always have your good looks. You won't always have your strength. You won't always have certain friends. They'll be deceased. So every moment, enjoy it in the present and live it like it's the last one. And I just want to encourage you guys to seek greater meaning. There's so many of these clowns on the internet that are talking about, I want to be a millionaire. I'll teach you how to be a millionaire. Or I'm going to be a billionaire. It's like, getting money is fantastic. I highly recommend it, but that's not the measure of a man or of anything. So sometimes you go brain dead watching life, forgetting to live life. What I mean is that you should be asking yourself, am I watching life right now, or am I living life? And every time you should be trying to live life.
Ladies and saints, let us end this with our tradition. The creed of the SASN. Repeat that. Oh, and just before we get into that, let me say, follow that 3-sentence Bible. That 3-sentence Bible will keep you safe and prosperous, okay? That 3-sentence Bible is not there for no reason. Be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. You follow that, you will not have any problems. It will wipe away all challenges. Be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. And if you need me to interpret that, let me know. But we tried to keep it simple for you. Now, let us end with our tradition, the creed of the SASN. Repeat after me with full conviction, knowing this is true of you.
The creed of the SASN. I am going to be who I truly am.
Because I am remarkable.
And I'm going to strive every moment
To show the greatest part. Show the greatest part.
to show the greatest part of who I am.
It has truly been a pleasure. It has truly been a pleasure today.
Until next time.